all you wanna, but you're still in your pajama. Now I ain't a prima donna, but I built what I wanna. You can say my vision's wrong, the tune of my song. Broke my thumb, banging to my own drum. Broke my thumb, banging to my own drum. Broke my thumb, banging to my own drum. Hootin' and clapping, boots I am a strapping, a click click clacking. Hurrah! Bootstrapping in America. Yeah, bootstrapping in America.
Thomas, we're back, my friend. Bootstrapping in America.
This is where we inspire you back to the next level.
I'm going to get to work on time. I'm going to find myself a place to park, so this is going to be good.
Well, you may be outclassed by our next guest. He is Eyal Amir. How are you?
Very good.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Awesome.
You are... Let's talk a little bit about your background before we get into Faspark, because I got to figure out how you got here. So you, Stanford University PhD.
Yep.
And then to a professor at University of Illinois Computer Science.
Right.
One of the best computer science programs in the country.
Yeah.
In both places. Nobody's going to downplay a Stanford PhD. So you're obviously...
Oh, we got a couple of good guys at John Jay College of Criminal Justice in Manhattan.
Sure you do.
Could help out.
So we're going to argue that there's something in your brain that works exceptionally well as far as computer science goes. And then all of a sudden, it sounds like you walk away from that career because you come up with an idea in your head. This is your idea, right? And you come up with an idea. You want to experience the entrepreneurial world.
Right.
Is that fair?
Yes. You know, I went to Stanford exactly at the time where all of the big shots that are well known nowadays I've studied, and some of them were my friends and buddies from same class.
Right.
So.
But why didn't you go that way then? Did you want to be a professor?
Yeah, you know, professors are...
No, I mean, it's sure.
Make your mom proud. I got
That's
it.
right, exactly.
Don't hide
My
it.
dad still says, my son the professor.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably like, but he could have started Facebook, but my son the professor.
You could have been a priest, but I mean,
That's
you know,
right.
if you're going to be a professor,
No,
that's
he
fine.
could not have been a priest, okay? So forget that. He's not.
That's right.
That's
right.
My son the priest is what I would grow up. I mean, that would be the good thing.
That could be the worst analogy here ever. Because he could do, this kid's, I mean, he's not kidding. This guy is a smart guy, but he could never be a priest.
That's
Okay?
right, yeah. My dad won't be proud of that.
That's exactly right. That'll be Heart Attack City. Okay. So but I'm fascinated because you're in the middle of, when was that, when were you at Stanford?
I graduated my PhD at 2001, 2002.
2001, 2002. So right in the height of kind of the whole boom and then subsequent bust.
Right.
So when the bust is going on, you're probably thinking, hey, I made the right decision.
That's right. That's right.
And you
Those
end up
losers.
You end up at the University of Illinois in a professor role, computer science, which, if you don't know, University of Illinois is probably the top school in the Midwest for computer science.
Right. It's actually top 5 in the country. Right. It's one of the best in the world, yeah.
Our whole dev team, we own a dev company called the Quiet Foundation, and the Quiet Foundation, almost all the developers come from University of Illinois. It's our source of, dev talent.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're working Champaign, Urbana, and you're doing your thing, and all of a sudden, Faspark.
Yeah.
I mean, tell me, how's this come about?
I was, for half a year, the University of Illinois gave me a kind of half a year without teaching, so I was in Israel. And I lived in Tel Aviv, and so if you've never been to Tel Aviv has one of the worst parking situations in the world.
I've never been there.
Yeah, no. So if you
He's not a very good Jew. That's
right.
what his problem is. Not going back. That's bad.
I won't sell. So so you come back after 8. You come back home, and you can just circle the blocks for a couple of hours. It doesn't matter. You won't find parking.
No parking anywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. So did you say when you were in Tel Aviv, I'm going to tackle this problem in Tel Aviv, or I'm going to tackle this problem where you were living in Champaign and Urbana? There's it's cow country,
right?
You know.
Yeah.
So what happens?
When I came back home, when I came back here, I kind of shortly thereafter, I moved to Chicago a little bit. I was traveling back and forth, and I saw the same problem here in Lakeview in Chicago.
Okay, that's where I live, Lakeview.
Yeah, it's an awesome neighborhood, no parking. So, my girlfriend at the time won't, she would not want to come visit me because she won't find parking on a Friday night. So I thought that some of the stuff that I was doing at the university, statistics-based, artificial intelligence, machine learning, all of that should play a role I saw many different.
But what was the idea that went through your head that said you could build a company around the lack of parking spot? I mean, there hasn't been
I've
parking
been dealing
spots.
with that forever. I
Right.
just park in the 15-minute zone, keep my flashes on.
There's no parking in New York. There never has been.
Yeah.
There's no park. I mean, this is not something new. So what comes to what comes in your head?
You know, part of it is idealistic
Okay.
a little bit. You know, I saw in Silicon Valley when I was doing my PhD, all kinds of companies come up without really a business model and still succeed in selling $1 billion company.
It's rare, though. To be fair,
that's
rare.
right. It is rare.
It's rare.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's 1,000 that fail for every one that gets, not to $1 billion, but to, 1 in a million get to $1 billion of those levels. But sure, go ahead.
Yeah. No, but the idea, the idea that, well, first start something with technology and then figure out the business. So I grew up with that.
So what was the idea?
So the idea was there has to be some statistical correlation here. I mean, there should be more efficiency in the market. So I would just, I looked in my street. I went with a clipboard, collected. I saw a spot available here at 10 a.m. on a Monday, and then the next day was a Tuesday. It was 12. I saw a spot there. I just wrote those things down, put them in a statistical model. It worked out.
I'm fascinated by this. You're going to think I'm insane because I may be, but this is the kind of crap that I'm totally fascinated by because this is what we believe. This is what we do with our approach to the markets. It's all statistical and probability based. And so if I'm understanding you correctly, you can take, XYZ Avenue in a very small space, and you can suggest that there's going to be one opening on the left-hand side of the street every 44 minutes or something. Is that how this works?
So you don't have little guys running around like spot checking, calling you up?
I mean, tell me how this works. I'm interested. I just don't get it yet.
Yeah, so it's a mix. You know how when you look at Google Maps or Maps nowadays, you can see red and green that show bad traffic, easy traffic.
Sure.
So you don't realize it, but over there, it's also a little bit of prediction. So they saw a car 10 minutes ago and a few cars yesterday that drove at this time, at this speed, and they infer something. So we do the same.
Okay, so tell me how it works. I live on XYZ block. Okay, my block has 3 bars on it. It's always jam-packed. There is never a parking space.
Right.
Because it doesn't have permit parking.
Right.
So now, what is your software tell me?
So it tells you drive one block ahead and then make a left, and over there will be a spot right now. We don't know for sure. It's just prediction, but it's good enough prediction. It says green on that street. Go for that green. We could be wrong, but most of the time we're right. And if you didn't find it, just continue along the path. You'll find another green.
And then orange is kind of like mid-type, and then red would be the place that you're not going to find a spot.
That's right, yeah. And if you're looking...
kind of right, because by the Hotel Felix, there's nothing there. It never is. That's what he has there.
Okay, so this is scary. This would be how we would define machine learning, AI.
Yeah,
That's what this is.
Totally.
For parking spots.
Yeah. The minute that you provide that kind of stuff for people, they start using it. Now we have more than 15,000 users here in Chicago and in Munich, Germany. And
how do you pick Munich, Germany, and Chicago?
Well, Chicago, naturally. We're
sure, because you're here.
Right. Munich is our first customer. So we worked with a car company over there.
And there was nothing in between? I mean, I find that few and far in between.
Okay,
that's
so Munich, so you have 15,000 users currently. How many of those users are active? That's 15,000?
Most of them, yeah. More than 10,000. Yeah.
How do you make money?
We're now selling. So there are many kind of consumers of this information, of course, the car companies, a lot of the partners that we have in the real estate industry and in the parking lot industry as well. But the
valet parkers,
right? So the main way that we sell, the main kind of customers of this right now are those that park multiple times a day. So you have Comcast vans that look for parking multiple times a day. AT&T, of course, electricians, plumbers, all of those. So we sell to those fleets of vans that park multiple times a day. There are more than 5 million vans like that in the world. And
what about individual consumers?
So individual consumers have this for free. your normal person who usually can get stuck, maybe once a day at most, they can use it for free, and it's up for, you can use it up to 10 times a month for free. And then there's a small subscription that you have to
So it's called, you go to Faspark.com.
That's right.
And if you live in Chicago or Munich, Germany, you can...
It's FAS, FAS.
Right. FAS, yeah. Faspark, FAS, and you go and you can download this, and it will tell you based on AI and some. It uses, I assume, some of that same kind of technology as like a honeybee or something. I mean,
kind of all those algorithms.
All those algorithms, right? A couple of wags of the tail. There's a spot over there.
That's right.
Yes.
I kind of like So the way it goes, it's like the minute that you have users. The users themselves, as they drive, they tell us some information. So it becomes more real time the more users that we have.
I got it. That makes total sense too, because there's much more information being transmitted back to you.
Right.
And do you, when you get a spot, do you let you know?
You can save where you parked. So then, you help everybody else that they know for tomorrow that at this time there is a good chance for parking there.
So there's nothing else to it other than kind of historical. It's almost like a reversion to the mean.
Yeah. Essentially, it's exactly the same. All of those algorithms that go into trading, algorithmic trading, those kinds of algorithms.
You're scaring the children right now because it's so close to what we do.
Of course.
Wow, very interesting, Eyal. Thank you. Interesting. How many people do you have so far working for you?
Right. So we're 6 people total.
6 people total. And have you raised any capital yet?
We have something on the table. We have an offer on the table, but we haven't.
You haven't taken it yet.
Yeah.
So you're truly bootstrapping at this point.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, we wish you
I just want to know one thing. Does the girlfriend come over? Does this thing work? Can she find a spot?
She did. Every time.
All right.
Every time.
And it's a winner already.
That's right.
That's the way I look at it.
Right.
Or a loser, depending.
Right.
But whatever. We're cynical.
It works.
It works. What's important is it works, Tony. I won't give this to you.
No.
Okay. Anyway, it's great stuff. It sounds really interesting. It's so much like what we do. I'm fascinated by it. I'm going to download it. So
please tell me how it is.
Oh, I will for sure. Don't you worry. We'll be dear support. This thing is great. Right. Okay. No, it's gonna be awesome. So thank you so much for coming in, and we'll watch you guys grow up and see what happens.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much for your time. We'll be back in about 3 minutes. We got Good Trade, Bad Trade. You listen to Get Tasted only on Tastytrade Network.